What about the other outgoings that we're expecting at Manchester United?
Yeah, well, look, with Manchester United, we've known all summer that there were 5 players who were told to keep away from pre-season training, to search for a future away from Old Trafford. 1 now has gone in Marcus Rashford joining Barcelona. The other 4 on your screen behind you still remain. Let's start with Alejandro Garnacho.
Shift some, if not all, of those players. Where will they look to strengthen?
Yeah, look, we should reiterate that the focus totally after they brought in Bryan Mbeumo was player sales. But having said that, throughout this transfer window, we have been saying that they are trying to strengthen in the number 9 position. They do want to bring in a striker. They have explored the conditions of a deal for a number of strikers, including Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins, Victor Gyökeres of Sporting, who of course is on his way to Arsenal, Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea, though his price could be really prohibitive. And interestingly, RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, who's been linked not only with Arsenal, but with Manchester United as well for the last 3 seasons or so. Now, the interesting thing about this is the director of recruitment at Manchester United is a gentleman called Christopher Vivell. He knows Sesko really, really well because he actually signed Sesko as a 16-year-old when he was at Red Bull Salzburg. So,
He's old. He's got a contract until 2028. Huge potential. Argentina international already, but Ruben Amorim has made it clear the future isn't for him at Old Trafford. Now, we know Chelsea were interested in the player and are still interested in the player, but they have signed a player like Jamie Gittins, very similar mould of a player. Doesn't totally rule Chelsea out, but likely scenario if Chelsea come back in is that they sell some of their current crop of players. Aston Villa, another club, remaining interested. Thing with Garnacho is that Manchester United signed him for very little as a youngster. So regardless of what profit they make, it's going to be big profit, which they can then use to reinvest in the squad. So even if, say, they valued this player at around like 60, 70 million at the start of the year, and maybe that's dropped to, say, 40 million pounds, it's still, they'll see it as pretty good business. So Alejandro Garnacho is one of those players still surplus to requirements at United, but he's not the only one, is he?
Yeah. If you look at United's movements in this transfer window so far, the players that they brought in the forward areas, Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, Ruben Amorim wants them to play in the 2 number 10 roles. But significantly, they are both players who have had significant Premier League experience compared to some of the other signings that they made in the forward areas in recent seasons, the likes of Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund and Anthony. You just get the impression that maybe Manchester United feel that they need to have learned lessons from what's happened in the past and bring in players who are ready to go in this transfer window. Exactly. But look, the potential recruitment of a striker, of a number 9, that is likely to happen later in the window, if at all. I'm not saying that is definitely going to happen, but United definitely in the market to bring one in.
Right, talking of strikers, next.
Finally signing a striker, it looks set to happen, and you know, a pretty good striker at that. And Arsenal are hopeful that he could play some part in their pre-season tour over there. They played AC Milan today, beat them 1-0, lost on penalties, had Kai Havertz back as that number 9 forward, but I'm sure they're looking for that real true, proper number 9. And, well, Victor Gyökeres scoring 54 goals in 52 games last season for Sporting could well be that player.
And there's another one, Dharmesh, that's edging closer to arriving at Arsenal.
Yeah, Christian Mosquera. He's actually in Singapore. We told you yesterday that he was joining up on Arsenal's pre-season tour.